Thank you for subscribing to this channel. This is a Reading Part C practice video.
The correct answer is D. The process is extremely time-consuming. Let's explain why this is the correct answer and why the other options are incorrect. In the passage, the phrase, "go the extra mile," is used to emphasize the effort and commitment required for voice donation. It is used in the context of comparing voice donation to organ donation, highlighting that voice donation involves a more extensive process. Specifically, donors must speak many thousands of pre-selected words, phrases, and sentences into a recording microphone, which implies a significant time commitment. Therefore, D. The process is extremely time-consuming. This is the correct answer because it accurately reflects the meaning of the phrase, "go the extra mile," in the context of voice donation. Donors must invest a considerable amount of time in the process. Now, let's discuss why the other options are incorrect. Donation centers are often far away. The passage does not provide information about the proximity or location of donation centers. The phrase, "go the extra mile," in this context does not relate to the distance of donation centers. B. A large number of voices are rejected. The passage does not mention the rejection of voices as the primary focus of the phrase, "go the extra mile." It primarily emphasizes the time and effort involved. C. Donators sacrifice more than organ donators. While the passage highlights the extended commitment required for voice donation compared to organ donation, it does not explicitly state that voice donors sacrifice more. The focus is on the time commitment. In summary, option D is the correct answer because it accurately represents the meaning of the phrase, "go the extra mile," in the context of voice donation, emphasizing that the process is extremely time-consuming.
Let's look at the next question.
In the given paragraph, the term user is used in the context of discussing voice donation and its process for AAC, augmentative and alternative communication, devices. Here's the breakdown. Healthcare workers who treat loss of voice. This is incorrect because the paragraph is not about healthcare workers but rather individuals who donate their voices or record their voices for AAC devices. B. Patients with permanent loss of voice. This is incorrect because the paragraph is not specifically discussing patients with permanent loss of voice but rather the process of voice donation for AAC. C. AAC technology developers. This is also incorrect. While AAC technology is mentioned in the paragraph, the term user in this context is not referring to the developers but rather the individuals who use the AAC devices with the donated voices. D. Voice donators. This is the correct answer. The paragraph is discussing the process of voice donation for AAC devices, and user refers to the individuals who donate their voices for this purpose. So, in this specific context, voice donators is the correct answer because it accurately describes the individuals being referred to in the paragraph as those who contribute their voices for AAC devices.
Let's look at the next question.
The correct answer is C, the synthetic voice used by the professor. Here's an explanation of why this is the correct option and why the other options are incorrect. In the final paragraph, the word it is used to refer to something that Professor Stephen Hawking retained and did not change to a more sophisticated design. This it is described as having limited modulations, which made his speech easier to hear and understand during lectures. This description matches the synthetic voice he used, known as call text. The paragraph mentions that 30 years after he began using call text, the software was nearing breakdown, but instead of replacing it, he had a team of researchers reverse engineer the voice onto a more modern platform. So, in this context, it refers to the synthetic voice used by the professor. Now, let's discuss the other options. A presentation given by the professor. This is not the correct answer because the paragraph is not discussing the professor's presentation but rather the synthetic voice he used. B. The research carried out for the professor. This is also not the correct answer. While the paragraph mentions that the professor had a team of researchers reverse engineer the voice, it is not specifically referring to the research itself but to the synthetic voice. D. The permanent loss of voice of the professor. This is not the correct answer because the paragraph does not mention anything about the permanent loss of the professor's voice. It focuses on his choice to retain a synthetic voice.
Let's look at the next question.
The correct answer is B. Need for a diverse range of voices. Let's explain why this is the correct answer and why the other options are incorrect. In the passage, the phrase, raising the bar, is used in the context of widening the scope for self-expression among the many users of augmentative and alternative communication, AAC, devices. Specifically, the passage mentions that many users have to make do with a limited number of vocal choices, often with the majority of available voices sounding adult and/or male. This information highlights the need for a diverse range of voices to better represent the users. Therefore, B. Need for a diverse range of voices. This is the correct answer because it accurately reflects the context in which the phrase, raising the bar, is used. The passage emphasizes the importance of expanding the options for voices to allow users to choose a voice that better represents their identity. Now, let's discuss why the other options are incorrect. A complexity of modern devices. The passage does not discuss the complexity of modern devices in the context of raising the bar. Instead, it focuses on the need for a diverse range of voices. C. High quality of the sound recordings. The passage does not mention the quality of sound recordings in relation to raising the bar. The primary concern is the variety and diversity of voices available to users. D. Number of new communication systems. The passage does not reference the number of new communication systems in the context of raising the bar. It is primarily concerned with the range of voices for AAC users. In summary, option B is the correct answer because it accurately reflects the writer's intention in using the phrase, raising the bar, which is to emphasize the need for a diverse range of voices for AAC users to better represent themselves.